International Airport. So we are live right now from Frankfurt International Airport. Plane spotting. Hope you are good and having a good time. So the plane spotting has started, and there are some arrivals. First of all, Airbus A321 Condor Airlines Yellow Sunshine livery is arriving from Frankfurt Airport. And there it is. So, Condor Yellow Sunshine livery has arrived.
Okay, we're fine.
That is the Condor Airlines. Right now there is another flight coming from Munich to Frankfurt from Condor Airlines Green Island livery Airbus A321. Arriving in 1 minute at a local time of 6:30 Frankfurt local time. That is Airbus A380 from Condor Airlines. Turkish Airlines is also on its way to arrive shortly to Frankfurt in a short time, and at the moment there is a Condor Airbus A321 arriving from Munich to Frankfurt International Airport at a local time of 6:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Arriving from Munich to Frankfurt. Touchdown. This is Frankfurt Airport, Germany, Deutschland. This is Frankfurt Airport. Turkish Airlines entry. There it is. Arriving from Istanbul, Airbus A330 Turkish Airlines flight number TK1593 arriving to Frankfurt in less than a minute, which has departed 2 hours and 22 minutes ago. So in 2 hours and 22 minutes, Turkish Airlines Airbus A330 has arrived to Frankfurt International Airport, Germany. fewer flights because of flight disruptions recently, because of the ongoing conflict in the region. There aren't further flights, so that's why. And also it's afternoon. So from Oslo, Norway to Frankfurt, Airbus A380 Lufthansa Airlines flight number LH863 is arriving in 2 minutes. It's very, very windy, yeah, of course. So we are in front of the Frankfurt International Airport, and the local time here in Frankfurt is 6:35 p.m. And the weather is like this, guys. Turkish Airlines, meanwhile, is taxiing to the terminal to let off the passengers. We are waiting for flights coming to Frankfurt Airport. Turkish Airlines Airbus A380 going to the terminal to let off the passengers. It just landed a few moments ago. And now Lufthansa arriving from Oslo, Norway, Airbus A321 from Norway, Oslo. Frankfurt Airport, Germany. Yeah, this is Germany, Frankfurt Airport. Just minutes ago. Turkish Airlines. Airbus A380 Air Baltic, flight number LX1074 from Zurich, Switzerland has arrived. To Frankfurt is arriving. It's an Airbus A321 Lufthansa Airlines flight number LH105 arriving from Munich to Frankfurt International local time of 6:40 p.m. Let's get on its way to Frankfurt International Airport. Current situation in Frankfurt Airport. People are going and coming. This is Frankfurt International Airport. Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A321 arriving to Frankfurt, flight number LH25, arriving from Hamburg. Airbus A380 will be arriving to Frankfurt Airport. It's Condor Beach livery, and its flight number is DE2321. Air Astana is preparing for takeoff. Astana, Airbus A321 from Frankfurt to Astana has took off, flight number KC922. Now arriving to Frankfurt Airport. Condor Beach livery arriving from Male to Frankfurt, Airbus A380. So from Male taxiing. There are few flights because of the flight disruptions and cancellations due to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. So I hope this war finishes or gets over, because it's not recommended at all. We want peace. In the news they said like the oil prices, it went so high, the prices of fuel has risen significantly due to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. And also it has not only affected the oil prices, but also it has affected the flights, because we are witnessing a lot of disruptions and delays and passengers stranded in some of the countries. Now arriving from Belgrade to Frankfurt Airport, Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A380 flight number LH1413, arriving to Frankfurt International Airport in about a minute, and less than a minute now, and it's making its final approach to Frankfurt Airport from Belgrade to Frankfurt International Airport. Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A320 flight number LH1413, arriving to Frankfurt at a local time of 6:53 p.m. Beautiful. Down and grounded. So we can see that Condor Airlines Airbus A320 is taxiing. The time here is 18 hours and 54 minutes. 18 hours. It's 18 hours, like 6:54 p.m. 6:54 p.m. in the afternoon, in the evening almost. So now FedEx is arriving. FedEx from Paris to Frankfurt, Boeing 777. Actually, that's a cargo plane, so that's landing in a cargo runway. The cargo runway and the passengers runway is different. There is a totally different section for the cargo planes in Frankfurt Airport, so it has a special runway, and it's landing far more away. It's like different. It's a little bit close to this runway, but it's different than the passengers runway. There it is, the place where the FedEx airplane is descending, that's where most of the cargo planes are landing. Sometimes cargo planes are landing in the passengers, the passengers runway, but airport activity, and it's sometimes it's different, and it depends on their own authorities. So German Airways is preparing for takeoff. Embraer E190 from Frankfurt to Amsterdam. From Frankfurt to Amsterdam, German Airways flight number KL1822 is taking off. That took off. Amazing airport, Frankfurt International Airport. Very nice, very amazing. Lufthansa Airbus A320 taxi, which before arrived from Belgrade. So Discover Airlines Airbus A320 on flight number 4Y207 is arriving to Frankfurt International Airport. There it is. We can see China Air Cargo Boeing 777 is taxiing to the runway to take off to Shanghai, China. Boeing 777 China Cargo Airlines taxiing to runway, and she will be expected to take off on a scheduled flight to Shanghai, China. Gloomy weather in front of me because of clouds, and also a little bit less cloudy, but that's the gloom of sun rays. Gloomy rays of the sun coming out from the scattered clouds right on the edge of the that edge, that corner. So that's T-way. So from Antalya, Turkey, Boeing 737 MAX 8 Sun Express on flight number XQ140 is arriving to Frankfurt in less than a minute, which has departed 3 hours and 9 minutes ago, is arriving to Frankfurt at a local time of 7 and 1 p.m. Sun Express Boeing 737 MAX 8 arriving to Frankfurt Airport. Arrived. China Cargo Airlines is taking off, Boeing 777 to Shanghai, China. Take off. Latam Cargo. So that's not cargo, that's Latam Airlines. Boeing 777 is taxiing. Latam Airlines, Boeing 777. So now, a beautiful airplane with Mitsubishi CRJ 1000 is arriving to Frankfurt Airport from Madrid, Spain. Operated by Iberia Regional. Iberia, sorry, that's Iberia Regional. Operated by Air Nostro. Touchdown, landed. Meanwhile, Discover Airlines is taxiing Airbus A320. So from Aviation Airlines, Airbus A320 is arriving from Thessaloniki Airport to Frankfurt on flight number A3532. Airbus A320 is arriving. Down and landed. So that's LATAM Airlines, Boeing 777. So from Belgrade, Bulgaria Air has arrived. Bulgaria Air Embraer E190 STD from Bulgaria, Belgrade to Frankfurt on flight number JU 3532. Landed. So now LATAM cargo can make its appearance. Sorry, it's LATAM Airlines, Boeing 777. Beautiful airplane. Boeing 777-300 LATAM Airlines. So that was LATAM Airlines, Boeing 777. And meanwhile, China, Air China Airbus A380 is arriving. That's A330. A321, I think. A321. That's not A321. That's actually, it's not registered here. It's in the flight travel, I don't know. Let me clarify. Airbus A322 version. Some models are different. So Lufthansa Airlines from Tromsø to Frankfurt is arriving Airbus A321. Touchdown. Meanwhile, T-Way Air from Frankfurt to Seoul, South Korea, Airbus A330 is preparing for takeoff. So Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A321 has arrived from Barcelona, Spain to Frankfurt International Airport on flight number LH131 at the local time of 7:14 p.m. to Frankfurt, Germany. Is preparing for takeoff, cleared for takeoff. To Seoul, South Korea, cleared for takeoff. Lufthansa has also arrived. So my flighter Boeing 767 from Frankfurt to Tashkent is preparing for takeoff. Actually, we're trying to, it's waiting for taxiing to be. Meanwhile, Gulfstream J550 is arriving, and from the route where it arrives is not available, the data is not available, but it's a Gulfstream G550 airline. That's aircraft, a private jet. So Condor, Red Passion livery from Vienna, Austria is arriving to Frankfurt. Airbus A321 is refused landing. That's refused landing. So that's called, we can call it like go over, go around. So that's a go around. Yeah, it was A320. That's taxiings. Meanwhile, from Stockholm to Frankfurt, Airbus A320, Lufthansa Airlines file number LH805, Airbus A320 is arriving to Frankfurt Airport. Touchdown and landed. And now High Sky is arriving from Bucharest, Airbus A320. High Sky, operated by High Sky Europe, from Bucharest to Frankfurt is arriving. High Sky. Airlines. Landed. So now my freighter is taxiing to the runway to take off to Tashkent. And that's Boeing 777 is waiting. Meanwhile, SAS also refused landing. That's refused landing. Go around. About to approach, but that was a refused landing. Okay. So So at the moment, Croatia Airlines from Zagreb, Croatia is arriving to Frankfurt. Airbus Airbus 220 is making its final approach to runway in Frankfurt Airport. Croatia Airlines. Hi, welcome everyone. So that's Turkish Airlines from Zagreb, Airbus 220 has arrived to Frankfurt at a local time of 7:23 p.m. So from Malta, Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A321. From Malta, Airbus A321 Lufthansa Airlines flight number LH1313 has arrived to Frankfurt International Airport at a local time of 7:23 p.m. Frankfurt, Germany. Touchdown and landed. That's landed. So it's beautiful. It's cargo plane landing in a different section of the airport. And meanwhile, Israel Airlines going 737. That's LI. LI is from Israeli Airlines going 7879 Dreamliner. Sorry, that's 7879 Dreamliner from Frankfurt to Tel Aviv is taxiing to the runway to take off to Tel Aviv, Israel. Meanwhile, you can see airplanes, high sky, and at the moment, from Bangkok, Thai Airways has arrived from Bangkok. Thai Airways. Boeing 777 Thai Airways from Bangkok, Thailand, flight number TJ922 has arrived to Frankfurt at a local time of 7:25 p.m. And now you can see that Boeing 777 is taxiing to the runway from Lufthansa Airlines. Beautiful rows of planes. That's 7879 Dreamliner. My mistake. 7879 Dreamliner. My favorite plane, actually. 7879 Dreamliner is my favorite plane. Amazing. And that's Airbus A320 Discovery. Except the Lufthansa, which is a Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. and Airbus going very close to each other. That should take some distance. So from Salzburg, Lufthansa Airbus A319 arrived from Salzburg to Frankfurt at a local time of 7:28 p.m. in Frankfurt International Airport. Landed. So Lufthansa arriving from Tallinn to Frankfurt Airbus A320 flight number LH883. Landed. So LI is waiting, actually also maybe it's waiting for takeoff, I don't know. LI Israeli Airlines to Tel Aviv, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. Yeah, I think it's preparing for takeoff. Yeah, great for takeoff. Yeah. That's going to take off now to Tel Aviv, Israel. Take off. And now Condor Red Passion livery is arriving. Thank you so much. Condor Red Passion livery is arriving. Because before it went on a go around, so that's Thai Airways going 777, taxiing to the terminal to let off the passengers. And now from Barcelona, Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A321 from Barcelona, Spain is arriving to Frankfurt, making its final approach to Frankfurt International Airport at a local time of 7:31 p.m. is arriving to Frankfurt Airport from Barcelona, Airbus A321. landed. Good touchdown. So quite amazing aircrafts today at the Frankfurt International Airport. It's afternoon time and also gloomy weather, gloomy sky, gloomy sun rays. So that's Air China. Boeing 777 is preparing for takeoff. So meanwhile, Lufthansa arriving from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, to Frankfurt International Airport. Airbus A319 arriving to Frankfurt. Flight number LH997. Airbus A319 from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, arriving to Frankfurt International Airport at a local time of 7:33 p.m. Touchdown, and that's grounded. Plane grounded fully, landed beautifully. Wow. So we can see Lufthansa taxiing rapidly. There's timetables, they know the pilots are to reach, to set up with the timetables, so they know they have experience. So Air China, Boeing 777 is preparing for takeoff. My mistake actually, that was Airbus A350. Air China from Frankfurt to Shanghai is taking off. Actually to China, to Hong Kong, to South Korea. These are very long hour flights, like 12 hours on average, 12 hours flights. So because that's Central Asia and that's so far from here. That's took off. So that's SAS Embraer E190 arrived from Copenhagen, Denmark to Frankfurt Airport. E195 SAS operated by SAS Link. Malaysian Airlines has not arrived yet, but there is Singaporean, I think. Singapore Airlines is actually arriving, sir. That's not Malaysia Airlines, but that's Singapore Airlines arriving from Singapore to Frankfurt, which has departed 12 hours and 30 minutes ago, arriving to Frankfurt Airport. And this is an amazing aircraft because this is Airbus A380. Flight number SQ326 from Singapore, Airbus A380 signature. Wow, that's amazing. Singapore Airlines making amazing entry to the Frankfurt International Airport. Wow, pretty decent landing, smooth. Wow, that's grounded now fully. Singapore Airlines Airbus A380 jumbo plane. That's a giant jumbo plane. So, in front of me, amazing aircrafts running to land at different airports, because that's the cargo airplane landing in a different that's landing in a different runway. So that's it. That's how it is. Things are like this. So we will be shortly observing Singapore Airlines Airbus A380 from Mombasa to Frankfurt, which is arriving in a minute to Frankfurt International Airport. Flight number 4Y135, Singapore Airlines from Mombasa to Frankfurt. Airbus A380 is arriving, but meanwhile there is a takeoff of Finnair Airbus A321 to Helsinki, Finland, the capital city of Finland. Helsinki, Finnair is taking off. Airbus A320. Take off. Yeah, good. Wow. So there you go. From Mombasa, Airbus A330 Singapore Airlines has arrived. Touchdown and landed. Now Singapore Airlines Airbus A330, sorry, A380 is taxiing. So, coming from Tokyo, Japan, going 747 Lufthansa Airlines, arriving to Frankfurt Airport from Tokyo, Japan. Touchdown. Amazing landing. And Singapore Airlines is also going to the terminal. So coming up next is Lufthansa Airlines. Arriving from Prague to Frankfurt. Airbus A320 from Prague, Czech Republic. Landed, that's good. And now another airlines arriving from Seville. Condor Yellow Sunshine livery is arriving. From Istanbul, but that's different. But Condor Yellow Sunshine livery is arriving from Seville to Frankfurt. Airbus A320 arriving to Frankfurt International Airport at local time of 7:44 p.m. Landed. So this is the situation here. Ground situation. Another landing from Lufthansa. Amazing. Oh, thanks, 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 vielen Dank. Actually, my telephone dropped, but I even didn't know my telephone dropped. But a lady, a very nice lady, helped me pick up my phone, and she handed over my phone, and she helped me. You know, very nice people out here in Germany. So, everywhere, you know, you can find beautiful people, kind heart. Austrian Airlines Airbus A320 has arrived from Austria, Vienna. So that's like this. See, so Lufthansa arriving. There's that. Unique. Beautiful Lufthansa Airlines arrival. I think we better go because the weather is cold and also I am done now. I'll put it. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thanks for watching again. I really appreciate that you coming in my live streams. But you know, I can't just stop the stream because there are some planes coming. But I'm very cold, you know. It's very cold. Even though I have a sweater, but it's not even enough because the cold weather in Germany is really strong and it's really tough, you know. I mean, winter is not going from Frankfurt. I don't know from Germany what's happening here. I feel like I live in Antarctica or what. So this is Embraer Air Dolomiti arriving to Frankfurt International Airport. It's an Embraer E190 aircraft, which is a smaller jet, passenger carrier. Touchdown, landed. There are further flights coming. I need to go there because I'm done now. From Milan to Frankfurt, Airbus A380. EasyJet arriving. Touchdown.
Okay, jetzt machen wir es doch mal ordentlich.
Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.